So good afternoon all. In today's session, we will see different variables, types, what is the scope of that variables, how we can access the different variables in Java. So what is meant by local variable, what is meant by instantiable variables, and what is meant by static variables, or it is called as class variables. Okay, so let's start our session. Guys, screen is visible to everyone? Yes, it is visible.
Sir.
Okay, so types of variables and their or scope of the variables. So let's first open your IDE, that is JCreator. Okay, then create new source file, Java classes. You can choose empty class or you can choose Java class also. Then choose where you want to save your program on the desktop in Java programs folder. Okay, give the name as a scope of variable. Okay, and then click on the finish button. So this is all about the class already created. So public class scope of the variable, that is the name of the class, which is same as that of the file, that is Java file, scope of variable dot Java. Okay, this is called as constructor. Okay, if there is every class in Java having default constructor by default, this is default constructor, means zero argument constructor, because this constructor is a special type of member function having same name as that of the class name. So this is a special type and does not having any return type. So constructor does not having any return type. Public is not a return type, it is an access specifier. Okay, so public is an access specifier. There is no return type because constructor does not having any return type. Already you have seen that concepts in the CPP language also. So this is the constructor, and then you have to write your main method. If you remove, no doubt we will see that constructor part later on. We required only class, and that class contains main method first. So main method is public static void main, and pass the argument as a string args. You can write anything args or just arg. Args means arguments, array of arguments, and give the subscript operator. Okay, so this is the main method. Great. So I will explain first concept, that is scope of the variable. Scope of the variable in Java. Great. So in Java, basically there are three different types of variable scope. First is local variables, then local variables, second called as instantiable variables, and third type of variables are called as static, or it is also called as class variables. Okay, so we will see one by one. So local variables, when any variable we have declared or initialized inside the method. In Java, functions, this is main is also function. Functions are called as methods. Okay, so methods and functions are same. It is a synonyms. So local variables are the variables which is declared or initialized inside the method. inside the method, then that variable becomes local variables. Great. Next, instantiable variable. Instantial variables are the variables which is declared inside the class, but not inside the method. Then that inside the class, not inside the method, inside the class. Here, when we, that is the data members of that class. These are called as instantiable variables because we can call that variables, that is data members of the class, using that class object. So it is called as instantiable variables, which is declared and initialized inside the class. Next, static variables or class variables. Now, in Java, static variables are declared or initialized inside the class only. Okay, static variables we cannot initialize or declare inside the methods in Java. Okay, let's see one by one. So these are all the comments, comment line. So use slash, that is forward slash, 2 stars slash, that is multi-line comment. You can also give slash single star also, multi-line comments. Okay. So this is called as multi-line comment. So color get changed. So this is the comment lines. Now what we have to do? We were declared first local variables. So how we can declare the local variables? Local variables we have to create it or declared or initialize inside the main function. So integer a. So this a is called as local variable. Okay, so a is a local variable. Why it is called as local variable? Because we have declared a inside the main function or method, so it is a local variable. Now display it. How to display it? For that, system dot out dot print or println method is exist. So right here like this, just a. Okay, no problem, value get displayed. Now tell me guys, what is the output of this program? What is the output of this program? This is a program. So what is the output of this program? So a is a local variable declared inside the main function or method. Using system.out.println, we have to display value of a variable, which is local one. So what is the value displayed on the console? Any guess? Yes. What is the value? Suppose in C and C++ language, if variable is only declared, then what is the value? Yes, garbage value. Understood? If variable is local and we cannot initialize the value, then what is the initial value? Garbage. We cannot predict it. Let's check what happens in Java. But this is not the case in Java. Java, it is treated as compile time error. Let's check. Compile. Yes, it gives the syntactical error system.out.println. Here a one error because in Java local variables must be initialized before use. Here we have to use that variable. Before use, we must initialize the local variable. So it is a is equal to 10. Okay. Now tell me what is the output? Yes, what is the output now? Is it 10 or it gives the syntactical error? Just compile the file. Compilation, there is no error. Execute the file. So what is the output? Output is 10. Great. So output is 10. Guys, understood? Local variable, what is the local variable? And before, whenever we use the local variables, local variable must be initialized prior use. Okay, we have to use, before using that local variable, we must initialize it. It is for the local variable. Now, second type of variable called as instantiable variable. So instantiable variables, we have to create, declared or initialized inside the class. So this is the class scope of variables. Inside that, if I am writing int b, okay, so this b is called as data member of that class. Yes, we have to call that as a data member of the class scope of variable, as well as it is a instantiable variable. It is called as instantiable variable. So it is a instantiable variable. Great. Now tell me, if I want to display that b inside main function system dot out dot println and print the value of b. So guys, what is the value of b? Now don't consider local variable here. Remove that code. Now focus on the what? Instantiable variable, but which is only declared one. And when we want to display it inside the main, what happens? Yes, any guesses? Yes. What is the output? Okay. So in chat, yes, it is a compiler error. Okay, let's see. Is it compiler error or not? Compile it. Yes, it is compilation error. And what is the message? Error message. Non-static variable b. This is b is a non-static. Yes, it is not a static variable. So it is called as non-static variable or instantiable variable. Okay, b cannot be referenced from. So this is the error, cannot be referenced from, because this is the instantiable variable, and whenever we access that variable inside any method, then we must instance create the object of that particular class, that is scope of variable. This is the name of the class. So first what we have to create, we have to create object. Suppose obj is equal to new scope of the variable. This is called as constructor. New, call the constructor of that class, which is default one. Whenever there is no constructor exist in your class, there must zero argument constructor or default constructor must be present here. Okay, so first create the object of that particular class and then call this variable or access the variable by using its name. How to access this? Obj dot b. Obj dot b. So using dot operator, we have to access the instantiable variable or non-static variable of the class. Okay, using their object of that particular class. So object dot b. Now check it whether it gives any error or not. No, it does not give any error. Then execute the file and check what is the output of this. Great. So what is the output, guys? Output is a 0. The instantiable variable, when it is not initialized, means value is not assigned to that variable, at that time initial value of that variable is always 0. but it is work for the instantiable variable only if the variable is local. If the variable is local, suppose C is a variable, okay, and if you want to display it using system dot out dot println, yes, okay, then guys, this variable is a local variable. C is what type? Local variable, okay, and which is not initialized, then it gives you syntactical error. If you compile it, it gives the syntactical error at the C line. This is, and what is the error message? So error message is variable C might not have been initialized. So what is the rules, grammar of Java language? Local variables must be initialized prior use. Okay, this is the grammar of Java language. Instantiable variables, if it is not initialized, okay, it's okay. But when you access inside any function, then what is the case? You have to create first object of that class, similarly obj, and then using object dot operator call this or access the instantiable variable of that particular class. Guys, hope you understand this. Yes. So you must initialize the local variable prior use. Here we have to use prior use must initialize the local variables. This is a grammar of Java language. In C, C++, it is different. Okay, local variables inside the main you have not initialized, then also it gives the garbage value, no doubt. Okay, but in Java, some standard rules are applied for the variables, different types of variables. Great. Guys, understood? Any doubts till this? Yes?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So third type of variables or scope of the variable is a static scope or static variables, or it is called as class variables. So it is like this access. This is called as storage class static. Then suppose int, and we have declared some variable d. Okay, so now d is which type of variable? Which is static, or it is called as class variable. So static variables are, we know the rules. Static variables are initialized when main method is called, only initialized once, okay, and it is stored on which partition? Static partition of your random access memory. So this is the, your RAM is divided into 4 different partitions. On that static partition, that variable, static variables are stored, and these are the also class data members. These are the class data member. One is called as instantiable variable and one is called as the static variable. Instantiable variable is also called as non-static variable. Okay, this is also called as non-static variable. Instantiable variables means that value of that variable depends on the instance of an object. So object, what is the object? Object is nothing but the instance of this class. So what is object? Object is an instance of a class. It's called as a object. And these are called as instantiable variable because these variables are we can access using object. Now, static variables. Static variables are called by using class name because this static variable is common to whole class. This class variable, static variables are common to whole class. That's why it is called as class variables also. And this class variables we can access using name of the class. We cannot use instance. No need to create the instance. So guys, now we will focus. I will remove this code. focus on only static members. So let's check. System dot out dot println, great, and just access the D displayed. Now tell me, inside main function, I have write system.out.println, that is called to the println method, which displays value D on the console. So guys, any what is the output of this program? It gives the error. Yes. Gives the syntactical error or not? Or it gives the value? Yes. Tell me. Okay. Compiler error? No. No compiler error. No error. Okay. Great. Okay. 0. Error. Now, here in any language, what is main thing? What is the grammar of that language? You are very familiar with the grammar of the language. Then you have to predict output of any program. So let's check first, save the changes, compile it. After compilation, there is no compilation error. But if it is B, guys, understood? If it is B, system dot out dot println, and if it is B, which is instantiable variable, okay, here it gives you compiler error. Let's check. Okay, in this line, B, non-static variable B cannot be referenced from the static context, which is not, because why this is the error? Because B is a non-static variable and we cannot access non-static variable into static main method directly. If you want to access inside the static method, so there is indirect way to access the instantiable variable. How? By creating object of that class. If we create the object of that class, suppose O is the object name, new scope of the variable. Yes, using this O, we can call O dot B. Okay, O dot B. Then it is possible, because non-static variables we cannot access directly into static methods. Understood, guys? Inside static method we cannot call it, but if the method is non-static, then we can directly call the data member B. I will show you. Okay, just wait. So I will remove this part. Okay, also remove this part. Okay, great. Now I have created one another method. Suppose void display. So void display is another method inside the class scope of the variable. Great. And main is the main method which is having public access specifier and static. Main method is the static one. Okay, static one, that's why it is called by its class name, static variable. And what is the rule? Which is same in the C++ language. So static method, main is a static method. We can access only static data members or the member functions inside the static methods. Only static data members or static functions inside the static main function. That is the rule, grammar. Now void is which type of method? Non-static method. Guys, understood? Non-static method. Display is a non-static method and main is a static method. So when we access any non-static members inside the static method, directly we cannot access it. For that purpose, we have to create the instance of that class. Understood? But if it is non-static method, can we access directly non-static variables inside the display method? Let's check. System dot out dot println. Okay, and access B directly. Okay, so now it gives you syntactical error. What is your opinion, guys? Tell me.
No error.
No error. Just check. Save it. Compile it. Great. There is no syntactical error. And when you execute the file, then it gives the output 0. Output 0. Why it is 0? Because this statement is executed. Means public void main. Okay. Inside that system.out D. But this method we cannot call inside the main. If you want, we can call it by using the name of the method. Yes, it is possible to call here. Yes, inside main, we can call the display method. Yes. What is the rule? What is the grammar? In static methods, main is a static method. We cannot access non-static data members or non-static methods. So what, guys, it gives error. Let's check. Yes, guys, it gives the error. And what is the error message? Non-static method display cannot be referenced inside the static method. Guys, understood? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Great. But is there any another way to call this method display inside the main? Yes, we can call it. What is the rule? What is the grammar? Or what is the concept? So you can create, yes, object of that particular class. So scope of variable, create the object. Suppose obj is equal to new scope of the variable. So it calls the constructor and creates the object obj, and using this obj dot display, yes, using obj dot display, we can call it, access it. Now check whether it gives the compilation error. No. Now print output. What is the output of the program? Just check 0 0 2 times. Okay, because static variable also not initialized, instantiable variable also not initialized, so its value is treated as initial 0. Understood? First this line is executed, so I will give the some message here. D is equal to double quotes plus same in double quotes, B is equal to double quotes complete plus D. Okay, so it gives clear idea. Compile, there is no error. Execute the file. Okay, so D is equal to 0 and B is also equal to 0. So first this line is called. After that, obj.display method is called, and the system.out.println is executed. That is B is equal to 0. Guys, understood? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Great. So let's, actually we can compare C language, CPP and Java, because we are familiar with C and CPP. So we can understood. If we want like this, int B is equal to 10. Is it possible in C++? Int B is equal to 10. Yes. Or we can initialize suppose 21D. When we declare the data member, at the same time we have to initialize the data members in C++, because in C language there is no concept of the class. Instead of that, there is a which concept? Instead of the class, there is a
Structure.
structures. Yes. And in C++, what happens? Structures first take the structures as it is and make the changes in the structures. In C language, structures contains only data members. Member functions we cannot write inside the structure. Is that clear? In C language? Yes or no? In C language, structures contains only data members. Member functions we cannot write inside the structures. What happens in C++, Trustofers, what he developed, take structures as it is, and he can add functions into the structures. Then he have implement all the OOPS concept, that is inheritance, polymorphism, runtime, compile time, everything he has to add into the structures. Initial name to that data type is also structures, but afterwards he made lots of changes, so it is not a structures become a structure. He want to rename it, and he made the name of that structure as a class. So in C++, there is a class as well as structures are also exist. We can write structures as well as class in the C language. Only one difference is there in the class and the structures of the C++ language. What is the difference? Anyone knows? So only one difference is there, guys. That is most important concept. In C language, there is structures also present, because some students are very misconcept that in C++ there is no structures, only classes are there. No, there is structures as well as classes. Only one difference is there. The class or first structures data members, when we does not give any access specifier, that is public colon, private colon, protected colon, like this, then that data members, if there is no access specifier provided, the data members are by default private in structures and public, oh yes, public in structures and private in class. That is only one difference in the structures and classes of the C++ language. Guys, note that only access specifier, default data members are private. Okay, are private in C++, in class in C++, while structures in the C++, default data members are always public one. Hope you understand. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Great. So we make the comparison between C, C++, and Java. So it is better for our understanding purpose. How language is evolved. What are the different grammatical changes are made in the language. So hope you understand these three types of scope of the variables: local variables, instantiable variables, and static or class variables. Understood, guys? In static members, static method, we cannot access non-static data members or non-static member functions directly. But indirectly, we can access non-static data members and non-static member functions inside the static member function. How? By creating object of that particular class. Yes, great. So hope you're enjoying that. Now, next thing, if we write b is equal to 10 and d is equal to 21, what happens? It gives syntactical error. No. Then execute it and check what is the values of d is equal to 21. Yes. And b is equal to 10. Great. Guys, in C++, we cannot initialize the data members. You are familiar with the C++, everyone? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So in C++, when we declared the data members of the class, at that time, we can initialize the value. Anyone initialize the value? No, it is not possible in C++. Okay, but in Java, we can initialize the instantiable, or it is also called as non-static variable or static variables. Yes, it is possible. Great. So hope you understand till this. Yes. So let's check anything remaining. Yes, one more thing. Now, I will remove all this. I hope you understand this part. So let's move to the next part. Suppose static integer a is equal to 20 and print system dot out dot println double quotes a is equal to plus a. Okay, tell me, what is the output of this program? Yes. Yes. What is the output? A is equal to 20. Save it. Compile it. No, guys, it gives you error. This is an error. So, what is the error? So, illegal start of expression. Why? Because static data members we cannot declare inside the member function. Any type of member function is there, but we cannot initialize it inside the class member function. So main is the member function of that particular class scope of variable. So we cannot declare inside the main function, but we can declare or initialize outside the member function, that is the in the class itself. Yes, it is possible. Now execute the file. Yes, there is no error. Execute it. So a is equal to 20. So this is the output. A is equal to 20. Okay. Understood. But here no need to write instance. Why we cannot create object? Because static variables are directly called by their class name. You have write A, only A, it's okay. Or you can write in another way also, that is first write the name of the class and then A. Now here also this is a tooltip, and in the drop down list what happens, what is the suggestions? Scope of the variables dot what members we can access, only A and main, because both are static one. So class, using class name we can access static data members. Understood? Okay. So what is the output? Same output. Execute the file. Or first make the changes. We have made the changes. So first compile it and then execute it. Okay. So A is equal to 20. So in both ways, we can access the A variable. Main, guys, understood? Main is the which type of method? Static. So we can access static data members directly. So that's why A is equal to A. Yes, it is possible. Or we can write scope of the variables, because static data members are accessed by their class name, not the instance of a class. That is object. Yes. Great. Guys, understood? So
Yes,
again,
sir.
yes, I will make some changes. So I will create one method, that is display. And inside display, which is non-static, display is which type of method? Non-static method. Yes, great. So inside the non-static method, can we access the class data members or static data members A? Yes, it is possible. Let's check. System dot out dot println and print the value of A. A is equal to plus A. Yes, it is possible to access static data members directly into non-static data members. Let's check if there is compilation error or not. No, there is no compilation error. Now run it. Execute the file. Check the output. A is equal to 20. Yes. Why? Because we cannot call the display method inside the main function. So how to call the display method inside the main function? Yes. Display is
Creating
non-static.
object.
So what we have to create? We have to create object of the class, scope of the variable. So create the object of the class, scope of the variable. Yes. Okay. This is the constructor. Call the constructor. There is no constructor exists in this class, but by default, 0 argument constructor must be there in this class, scope of the variable. Great. And then call the object dot display. Great. Now let's check. Compile it and execute it. So let's check the output. So A is equal to 20 and A is equal to 20. Great. Guys, hope you understand. So what is the grammar? What is the rule? What is the grammar of Java language? Inside the non-static data members, we can access static members or non-static members. Yes, but inside the static method, we can access only static data members or static member functions. But non-static data members or non-static member functions, we cannot access directly. But there is one indirect way. By creating object of the class, we can access the non-static data members. That is a display is a member or member function. Members are of two types. One is the data members like this, and these are the member functions of a class. Yes, hope you understand till this. Any doubts? Yes, any doubts? Suppose I have made some changes here. A is equal to 20. Okay, initially A is equal to 20, then A plus 20. So what is the output here? First A is equal to 20, and next time A is equal to what? 20 or 40? Yes, guys. First compile it. There is no syntactical error. Execute it. So first A is equal to 20, and after that we have made the changes in the A variable, which is static one. And when we make the changes and call the display method, that static changes are reflected into this variable A, and so value of A now becomes 40. Guys, any doubts? Any doubts? Let's move. Any remaining point is there? Okay, there are lots of things are there in Java. Okay, so let's remove all this part. Okay, now tell me, static integer A is equal to 10. that is static variable. Inside the main function, I have declared one variable integer a, which is local. Okay, 10. And then print system dot out dot println. Great. So a is equal to plus a. Guys, tell me what is the output here? A is equal to what? One is the static variable a, name of that variable is a. One is local variable, name of that variable is also a, both. And when we display system.out.println, what is the output of a? A is equal to, yes, great. Someone tell that 20. Okay, let's check. Compile it. There is no compilation error. Execute it. Okay, a is equal to 20. Great. Because here one is the class variable and one is the local variable. So first variable is called as class variable. Guys, class variable is common to all class. This is a local variable which is only accessible inside the main function. So this is a local variable. Okay, and if the local variable and class variable having same name, and when we display the a inside the main function, then only first preference is given to the local variable. First preference is given to the local variable. Great. So what is the value? A is equal to 20. Guys, now my question is, suppose I want to access this static data member inside the main function. So is there any way to access static a variable inside the main function? Yes, there is a one way. Which one way? Scope of the variable, that is variable class name dot a. Class scope of the variable dot a. Now what is the output, guys? Now here, which variable we want to access? We want to access this static variable, which is class variable. Great. Guys, what is the output? First compile the file and then execute it. So what is the output? A is equal to 10. A is equal to 10. Guys, any doubts? Any doubts till this? So we know how to access local variable or class variables. There are two ways. First, just write a, then it access the local variable because preference is given to the local one. And when we want to access static variables of that class, then you can use class name dot a, then it access class variable. Yes, but if there is no local variable exist, then if you write just a, if there is no local variable of same name, then it gives the, it access just a access the static variable or class variable. Let's check. Yes, a is equal to 10. Guys, hope you understand. Yes, are you enjoying the lecture?
Yes, sir.
Great. So lots of things are there which we want to clear conceptually. What is the concept? What is the grammar of that particular language? And why this answer comes? What is the output? Only output prediction. Main, what is the rules? We are confirm with the rules. Then it is very nice. Suppose now I will ask one question. Integer a is equal to 10. Great. Suppose inside this main function, again I will give the block. Yes, it is possible. In C++, we can give the block inside any main function. Yes, it is possible. Okay. Again, I will declare one variable a is equal to 20. Yes, and here I will print system dot out dot println. Okay, and a is equal to plus a. So guys, what is the output of this program? Tell me. This is a variable in the
20.
main function. This a variable is also in the main function. Only block is different. Block is different. Yes, it is possible in C, C++ also. Now in Java, what happens? Tell me.
20.
It gives you 20. Guys, no, just check it. Compile. Oh no, this is the error. Variable a is already defined in the method main, and we cannot define the variable having same name here. It is the grammar of the Java. It is possible in the CPP also. In CPP, the output is a is equal to 20. Yes, but in Java, it is considered as a syntactical error because in same method, we cannot declare variable with same name. Yes, it is possible. We can create the blocks inside the method, but same variable name we cannot refer. Yes, if it is B, then what is the output? Just compile it. There is no compilation error, and at that time if you execute the file, the output is a is equal to 10. A is equal to 10. Great, guys. Yes. Yes. Because this A is accessible within this block structure. Yes, it is possible. We can access it. Now my question is, suppose system dot out dot println, and here I want to access B is equal to B plus B. Now guys, what happens? Tell me. B is inside this block, and I can access it outside the block. Is it possible? Tell me. No. It gives you syntactical error, that is variable A. Okay, and what is the cannot find symbol? Because in this curly bracket scope there is no B. In this curly bracket scope there is a B, because B is a local variable, and local variables are accessible only within the block. Within the block, outside the block it is not accessible. But A is in which block? In this outer block. So A is accessible in the inner block. Yes, it is accessible. But B is not accessible because B is initialized, that is the local variable. B is also a local variable. Yes, it is a local variable, and it is in the inner block. So it is accessible only in the inner block, not on the outer block. So that's why it is the error, that is cannot find the symbol, or this is the symbol. B is the symbol or the variable, that is cannot be find. Guys, hope you understand. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, any doubts? Yes, any doubts? Yes, guys, any doubts? Okay. So I think all the concept related to the scope of the variables is over. Yes. Okay. So if you have any doubt, please ask. Okay. So thank you. Thank you for watching my lecture.